Wagwan people, welcome back to another episode of Cook Like a King, and I'm your host, Chef Speci. Now, today I'm going to be making one of my top 3 Jamaican dishes, and it's one of the most requested dishes I've got so far, and that's oxtails. The sides that I'm going to be making is pumpkin rice, and I'm also going to be making some potato salad. So stay tuned, and remember, subscribe, like, and share, and also hit that bell. Alright people, so we're gonna start off with the oxtails. And I wanna say, season your oxtails 24 hours prior to cooking, because you want the oxtails to get really marinated to the core. And for the seasoning for the oxtails, you're gonna just dice up some onions into cubes into the oxtails. You're gonna apply some all-purpose seasoning, some onion powder, and a little bit of salt. And for the vegetables that are gonna go inside the oxtails when stewing it, I have here some baby carrots, or you can use some normal carrots, some bell peppers, some onions, and you're gonna need a little bit of thyme. Also, the key thing for oxtails is buttered beans or butter bean. This goes into the oxtail last when cooking it. I'm doing 3 pounds of oxtails, so I'm using 2 cans of butter beans. Alright people, so we're going to move on to the sides now. The first side I'll be making is the pumpkin rice. I'm just using 2 cups of regular white rice. I'm cooking for 3 people. And also, you're going to need a piece of pumpkin, 1 scallion, and the most important thing, the cock soup, or Grace cock soup I should say. Now if you don't have Grace cock soup, a substitute is the Maggi chicken flavored noodles. Now for both of these, you're going to need a sieve or a strainer to separate the noodles from the seasoning, and the seasoning is what you're going to add to the rice. The second side is the potato salad. You're gonna just need some regular potatoes. I'm using red skin potatoes. You're gonna need eggs to make the hard boiled egg. And in Jamaica, to add flavor, we normally add some sweet corn, some green beans or string beans, and this also adds color. So I just wanna say, when cooking oxtails, there's 2 ways of doing it. You can either slow cook it, or you can use a pressure cooker. When slow cooking oxtail, which to me is the best way, it takes about 2 to 3 hours. And when using a pressure cooker, you have to check the oxtail maybe 25 to 30 minutes in, pressuring it to check the tenderness of it, because you don't want it to be falling off the bone. You still want it on the bone. So it's up to you how you want to cook your oxtails. So the first step when cooking your oxtail is you need to brown the meat in a frying pan like this. Now, browning the meat seals in all the juices inside the meat and also the bone. It also gives it color, and it gets rid of some of the fat that's around the edges of the oxtail. So after browning the oxtails, you're gonna get rid of some of the oil in the pot, and don't mind the burnt stuff in the pot. That's what's gonna give the pot the flavor. Now, to make the stew that you're gonna put the oxtail in, you're gonna need some ketchup, some soy sauce, and some browning for color. Also, the onions that were in the seasoning that was marinating the oxtails, you're gonna need that as well. You're gonna need maybe 2.5 to 3 cups of water, depending on how much oxtail you're using. And you're gonna need the normal seasons that you use to season the oxtail, just to flavor the pot to how you want it to taste. So first, we're going to start off by sweating the onions. Then, you're going to add some soy sauce. Then you're going to add some ketchup. Then you're going to add some all-purpose seasoning. Some onion powder. And you're going to incorporate this. Just stir it up a bit. And then you're going to add the water. Like I said, you can add 2.5 or 3 cups of water depending on how much oxtail you're cooking. So after everything comes to a boil, then you can add the browning. And you don't want to add a lot, you just want some color. And after you add the browning, just let that simmer for maybe about 2 to 3 minutes. And then you can taste the sauce. Remember what I always say, people. Taste while you're cooking. Alright, so once the sauce is good to go and up to par with you, then you can start adding back the meat to the pot. Now, when slow cooking oxtails, you want the sauce to cover the meat because this is a slow cooking process. So it's going to take 2 to 3 hours, as I said, to make the meat tender. So you want a decent amount of sauce. And the drippings that are in the bowl that you put the oxtails in to rest, you're going to drain this off into the saucepan as well. So next up is the pumpkin rice. So people, first step is wash your rice. Then you're going to clean up the pumpkin. You're going to take off the skin on the outside, take out the seeds on the inside, and this section right here. And you're going to cut the pumpkin up into cubes just like this. And then now, when it comes to the seasoning from the Grace cock soup, you're going to use a strainer and sieve out the seasoning, separate it from the noodles like so. And this is what you're going to use to flavor the pot so it can have the flavor needed. Then you're going to use a spoon to crush the scallion, and this is what you're going to add to the pot once it starts to boil, and this gives it more flavor. So just to let you know, guys, you don't need a lot of water in the pot when doing the pumpkin rice. You just need maybe the water to be 1/2 inch above the rice, and then you're going to add the pumpkin and the seasoning and stir it up. Then you can put it on the fire. So after you've added all the ingredients to the pot, you're just going to stir it up. And don't be afraid to taste the water, because you want to know if it hasn't enough salt. Because the seasoning from the cock soup, really and truly, that's all you should need to season this. So after the water is gone from the rice, you're going to stir it up a bit so the pumpkin can get crushed a little bit. And then you're going to put a plastic bag over this with the lid so it can steam the rice. So while the oxtail and the pumpkin rice is going, we're going to start on the potato salad, because this is going to go in the fridge to get chilled. So everybody has their own version of potato salad, but this is how my mother and father used to make it back home in Jamaica. But really and truly, all you need to make potato salad is potatoes and hard-boiled eggs. Now, I've boiled the potato until they're tender, so you're going to add this to the bowl. Then you're going to add the eggs. And this is completely optional. I'm adding some green beans and some sweet corn. And after you've added that, then you add the mayonnaise. So after you've added the mayonnaise, you're going to incorporate all the ingredients so the mayonnaise can cover everything. I don't like a lot of mayonnaise, so I've added a little bit, but you can add as much as you'd like. And after you've incorporated everything, you're going to put this in the fridge to chill, maybe for about 20 minutes. So about 10 to 15 minutes before your oxtail is finished cooking, then you can add your vegetables. So when the oxtail is finished cooking, then you can add the butter beans. I'm doing 3 pounds of oxtails, so I'm adding 2 cans of butter beans. You don't want to add the butter beans anywhere more than last.